Grab your furry family member because today we're going to be laser engraving pet tags. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do on your Creality Falcon, as well as how to batch engrave. Now these are from the Creality Falcon webpage, so I'm going to pop the link up on the screen so that you can find them in your region. And we're going to make a new pet tag for Luna. What do you reckon? These stainless steel pet tags come in a range of finishes, and as I said, they are available on the Creality Falcon webpage. And I'm going to be using both the round and the dog bone shape today, and I'm going to show you how you can add not only text and align it, but also a couple of little flourishes such as little dog paws and hearts to just sort of make the design a little bit cuter. So there will be a downloadable file as part of this tutorial, so grab it after you watch this. Here I am now at the Creality Falcon Pro, and I'm just going to show you my setup here. So normally I have my rails set to sort of every second position, but in the middle here you can see I've bunched some together. The reason for that is the pet tags aren't huge, and it just gives me the opportunity to support them from behind, and then also hang the little tab that sits at the top from which it hangs just over the edge of the rail so that it doesn't hit the laser head when I come in and focus it for the engrave. I'm going to come in now with my focusing tool. I'm going to be using the top step, which is the engraving height, and I'm just going to place it on top of that pet tag there, bring my laser head over and begin my focusing. So I'm going to loosen the two screws on the right, lift my laser head to be on top of that focusing tool, and then tighten the screws. Remove the focusing tool, and you'll see now I have a great clearance from the actual tab from which the pet tag hangs. I'm going to place my other pet tags in. Now, the beauty of doing them by batch engrave is because I'm using the camera, I don't have to have them, nicely aligned. I would just suggest either having them straight or on an angle of which you're going to recognize when you see them on the screen, because you can obviously flip your text upside down if you want to place a pet tag going the other way. The most important thing is just to align it nicely. As you can see, up nice and close now. I'm just going to test that my laser head isn't going to hit anything whilst I do my engrave. And now I'm going to come over to my computer and show you how I'm using that camera to really come in and batch engrave those three so that I save some time. Here we are now in Lightburn, and as you can see, I've got three separate pets names on the left hand side in different fonts, and on the right hand side I've got a couple of little cute little icons that you can pop into your dog tag. Now, as you can see, I'm using the Falcon Pro, which is connected via USB, and it is ready. So for this batch processing, I'm going to show you, I'm going to come into camera control now as a tab and click on Creality Falcon camera. Now, if I say update the overlay and show it on the screen, you can see there where the three pet tags are on the screen. Now, depending on what type of product you're using and how reflective it is, you've also got this fade button which can help you align the edges. It just depends on which you think is a better view. All I need to do now to complete my design is to shrink this text down to fit nicely within the pet tag and add any of these little icons that I think will be cute on the engrave, and then I'll show you my cuts and layers tab. So I'm going to come in here now, so I'm just going to grab the name Luna and just shrink it down and bring it onto my pet tag. It's still a bit too big. Now, as you start working and it gets smaller and smaller, you will want to zoom in on your workspace. So I'm just going to get them on there first. Let's zoom right in. For the name Ziggy and the bow tie, I'm just going to select both of them, come up to the top and click Arrange, Align, and then Align by Vertical Center. So it is going to center those two, and then I'm going to click on Arrange Group, which means if I start to move this around, those two are going to go together, and so I know that that alignment will be perfect. For Luna now, I'm just going to bring it into the middle of that dog tag. And for Indy, I'm pretty happy with the way it is. I'm going to come across and I'm going to choose one of these little dog paws, shrink it down, bring it in, and I might just make it even a little bit tinsy tinier. And then I'm going to come up and I'm going to go edit, copy, edit, paste. And I'm going to put a second little dog paw in, and I'm actually going to rotate this one around. So it looks like two little paws walking. So I'm going to zoom in nicely on that one. And bring that in, and I'm just going to bring this one a little bit around to the left. Now I'm not using my shortcut keys, just so you can see exactly where these different tools are in the toolbar. But it is even faster when you are using your shortcut keys. Okay, so I'm pretty happy now with the way my alignment is looking. Now I'm just going to get rid of these icons on the right hand side. So I'm going to press Shift as I click each of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create them as a separate layer. So when I bring you in and look at the cuts and layers panel, you can see my pink layer there, which is what I'm wanting to do. I've got output on, show as on. For the blue that I'm not wanting to engrave, I'm actually going to turn the output off, which means when I press start or frame, they are not even included in that. And I'm even going to take off show, which means I can't even see it and be distracted by it. So I'm just going to come out now, look at my whole workspace so I can be sure that there's no other text or other icons that I've completely missed. I'm going to come over to laser, and even though I've aligned these, I am still going to press frame before I press start. Now your alignment with your camera calibration is based upon the thickness of your materials. So if you're using vastly different thicknesses of materials, you do want to test that calibration or recalibrate for thicker materials. Because these dog tags are around 2mm thick, they're not much thinner than my calibration for 3mm timber, but I'm just going to triple check it before I press start. My parameters are all set, so I'm using the Creality Falcon Pro today. I'm going to be using it on the 22 watt or precise mode because that does a very, very nice and clean engrave. I'm using the speed of 6,000 millimeters per minute and the power of 80% and a line interval of 0.1. So that's going to look perfect once I get it done. So back to the laser, and I'm just going to press frame before I hit start. And there we have our 3 engraved pet tags. So I'm going to show you what they look like up close. So I've been trying to capture these as best I can on the film because it is hard to see because they are so reflective. So for example, on the silver, the Engrave has just come out really nicely and it's uniform, you know, regardless of which font I've used on these ones. And I have engraved each of these on the back with the owner's phone number, but I did want to show you, I'll just cover that up with the phone number. But it's so easy to put on, you know, that this dog requires epilepsy medication so that, you know, it's timely to get that dog home to its parents if it gets lost. I think it's a great way to really personalize your pet tag, but also just add anything on that you want. You know, this dog is afraid of people, or, you know, don't leave it with a cat, for example. So when it comes to the gold is a little bit different because it really does start to engrave in the different colors. As you know, you can engrave color on stainless steel, and you do see that reflected in these gold tags. And I think they came up really beautifully. The multicolor ones they're so cute. It kind of is hard to see in some lights the actual engrave, like if it's sort of, you know, on the pet and it's moving around, you won't see it as much as you will when it's in the light, but it is clear to actually read that engraving when you're up close. The black is really, really cute. It almost looks like a grey engrave on the black finish. And I must admit, I'm really quite taken with the way the black has come up. And I honestly thought I wouldn't like the blue, but it is just so cute up close. So I did actually just have to slow down the speed for this one. I ended up doing 2500 on speed, but the same percentage of power. And afterwards I could see that I had engraved, you know, a grey black finish on that blue, and I decided it just needed a little bit more pop. So what I've done is then I've changed it to line, and I've just done the exact same parameters and engraved around that edge, and it's given that sort of silver effect around the edge and given it an extra pop, so that it's much more visible on that blue. But I think, you know, for Ziggy, his little bow tie is quite handsome, and I'm really happy with the result. So you'll notice that Luna's is missing because she is wearing hers. I do actually have two dogs which I love very, very much, but the other one was a diva and would not come on the camera no matter what I did. So I'm going to go get Luna and show you the little model wearing her dog tag. And last but not least, I have Luna wearing her rainbow coloured dog tag there. So I think it looks very cute on you. Thanks for being a part of today's tutorial on how to laser engrave pet tags using your Corality Falcon. If you don't have a laser engraver already, then head to coralityfalcon.com and it will take you to your local region, and you can check out the laser engravers there. Everything from the Corality Falcon standard range through to the Pro range that I've used today. Now you can also get your materials, so the dog tags that I've used today have come from the Corality Falcon page also, so check it out. Thanks for watching again, and I'm Heidi. I'm the Crafty Socialite if you want to follow me on social media. Thanks to Corality Falcon for sponsoring today's tutorial, and until next time, I'll see you then.